Hey guys, JC here. Alright, today we're going to talk about zombies and the different types of zombies. So far I've talked to you guys about weapons, I've talked to you about shelters, I've talked to you about what to wear. Today we're going to talk about the different types of zombies. There are three main types of zombies, each with kind of their own level of danger. So we're going to go ahead and start off with sitters. Sitters are the ones that are sitting down up against walls, maybe even laying down, and they don't really have a whole lot going for them. You know, sometimes they'll even appear to be dead. Now obviously we know that zombies are already dead, but you know that whenever a zombie is dead, they're obviously no longer a threat to you. It's a dead person is now a zombie, and then a dead zombie is now a zombie that has been killed or has died off because of lack of food. So they can appear to be a dead zombie. You know, so you disregard them. You try to walk, you're walking by them, and then turns out they're not actually dead. They're just weak, or they just are lazy, and then they end up grabbing hold of your leg and biting you. So sitters, because of their unpredictability, and because, you know, you never know, this sitter may actually have the ability to get up. And then at that point, they could either be a walker, which we're about to talk about, or a runner, which we're also about to talk about. So because of their unpredictability, I would probably give them the highest level of danger when you're talking about only one or two of them. Very, very small groups. Sitters take the highest level of danger as far as I'm concerned. Then we're going to talk about walkers. Walkers are going to take the absolute lowest level of concern when dealing with, once again, just a handful of them at most. Very slow, very uncoordinated, very easily distracted. You know, there's not a whole lot to them. They stumble around a lot. They're constantly off balance, and so they're easy to knock down. They're easy to kill. They're easy to outrun. You could speed walk away from it if you felt like it. So walkers are going to be the most common and the least threatening of all the zombies, at least in small groups. Runners are going to be walkers, but with a little bit more abilities. They're going to a little bit more of a coordination to them. They're going to be able to start picking up a little bit more speed. They're not stuck to just the plain, you know, walking and kind of like, you know, stumbling around and stuff, not really able to keep balance. You know, they have a little bit more coordination to them. They can kind of get to, like, not a real sprint, but to almost kind of like a half-assed run. You know, somewhere between just kind of a steady jog and kind of like a slow run, you know, kind of right around that range. And the thing about them is that even though they're going to be more coordinated than a walker, they're still fairly uncoordinated. So throwing them off balance is still pretty simple. But so they kind of take that mid danger level when you're dealing with just a handful of them. But the dangerous part about walkers is their ability to group up. Walkers are, once again, like I said, easily distracted, but they will follow their followers. They're not, you know, they're not leaders, I guess. They're followers. One will be walking. One will hear something or decide to start walking in a direction. Maybe bump another zombie, and we'll start walking. That zombie will kind of stop and turn and see, hey, this one's walking, so it's like, I don't know why, but I'm going to start walking this way too. And then those two zombies are walking. They catch the attention of another zombie or two, and then those zombies catch attention, and then those zombies catch attention. Next thing you know, you've got, you know, 100 or 1,000 or whatever zombies walking in a direction, and they have no idea why. Maybe they're walking because they heard a sound that way, and they could hear a gunshot off in the distance, and somehow they know exactly where the gunshot came from, and they start walking in that direction. Well, let's say the people are 3 miles off that way, and they shot or whatever. You know, obviously 3 miles is a long distance to hear a gunshot, very clearly anyway, to know where it came from. Okay, so let's just go and make the argument a mile away. They're a mile away, and they hear a gunshot, so they start heading in that direction. So while they're out there, they're heading in this direction, and those people drive away after they make their gunshot. They drive away, they're gone. Well, the walkers walk a mile, and now they're where the sound was. They're not going to stop. They didn't guess the distance and know, okay, this is where it came from. They are now walking in a direction. So people that are 10 miles down that way, that didn't hear the gunshot, and the people who made the gunshot are gone. The people who are 10 miles away are just kind of minding their own business when a huge herd of zombies just comes in on their little town or their little place or whatever, and they have no idea what caused the zombies to group together to do this. Nobody knows what causes zombies to group together, why certain zombies will follow a group of zombies or why others won't, or what causes zombies to start walking in a certain direction whenever they don't even hear anything. It's just kind of instinct, I guess is the best way to say it, is that certain instincts will just kind of take over and they'll do certain things without really having any form of thought process. But that's what makes walkers capable of being the most dangerous of the different types of zombies. They are the ones that are capable of just creating huge groups of zombies, huge crowds of them, without even realizing it. And something like that, with that kind of a force, you know, I used to go to youth camp. My Lord, probably it's almost 10 years ago now. Used to go to youth camp, and our youth are this youth camp. Tons of youth groups would come over from all over, and I mean, and I don't just mean from our state. I mean, I live in Texas. Texas is a big state. We had people coming from all surrounding states. You know, people that were driving almost 22 hours just to get there. Now, yes, that you could spend a good majority of that time just driving through Texas, but no, they actually had come from a couple states away. You know, even though you know, our group was like, I don't know, maybe 14 people or something, but I'm getting off subject. But when all the youth groups got there, there was well over 1,000 people there. And we would be able to fit in this auditorium, this huge auditorium where everyone would do all their singing and everything. But oh my gosh, it was just ridiculous. You look and it's just people everywhere. This auditorium is filled, and it's like, this is 1,000 people. And I look at that, and you know, and I'm thinking about it now. I'm like, if this was a herd of zombies, I'd be screwed. If this was just a huge herd of zombies that was heading my direction, I gotta get going now, because there's no screaming way. With 2 weeks and an almost unlimited supply of ammo, it would take me forever to kill these things. There is so many of them. I'd have to constantly be moving, turning around, killing a couple, moving, turning around, killing a couple. It'd be constant. And I would never want to get on a building unless it was made out of concrete, stone, something like, you know, it has to be a huge building and very foundationally strong. Otherwise, this huge group will tear it to pieces. Because I'm telling you right now, a group of 1,000 people could tear apart a house in a matter of minutes. I mean, with just, no, they don't feel pain. So they start grabbing at wood and pulling it off, and it starts tearing their skin and stuff. They don't feel that. They don't care. They're just grabbing and tearing. They would tear a house apart in a matter of minutes. I mean, it's absolutely incredible how big a group of 1,000 people actually is. So that's the danger of walkers, the danger of sitters, and the danger of runners. Each one kind of has their own level, but obviously the levels can change when you start talking about the quantity of each. Obviously, 1,000 sitters is going to be dangerous. 1,000 runners is going to be dangerous, and 1,000 walkers is going to be dangerous. The difference is that sitters and runners generally don't gather together. Sitters will just be kind of spread out because it's just a spot where either they went down or a spot where they just decided to stop running or decided to stop walking, decided to stop doing whatever. They just kind of sat down. You know, runners are, you know, basically similar to walkers, and in some cases could end up joining a group of walkers, which is the difficulty, because if they saw something that they wanted, runners would obviously make their way to the front of the group pretty quick. So, you know, there is the danger of that, but the fact is that runners generally don't group up like walkers will, you know, because runners are constantly moving for no real reason, or maybe they're just kind of standing there, which kind of seems to be kind of like a trait of runners. Is that, you know, you don't really see in any of the movies anyway, you see like ones that are capable of running seem to spend a lot of their time just kind of standing there, and maybe it's because their body is using energy. I mean, you'd think that there has to be some kind of limits. I know that they don't really breathe, and their lungs don't really, you know, suffer the constant movement like a you know, a live person would, which is why zombies don't get winded. But there has to be some form where they eventually run out of energy. Muscles will eventually give out. So, and these dead are obviously decaying. You can't be dead and not be decaying, even if the process does take longer because of some form of reanimation. They are, you know, their muscles will eventually give out. It's just that they just don't have the same weaknesses that humans do, such as pain or lungs, things like that, where they're constantly having to worry about, you know, you start going too far and your lungs are going or whatever, you'll pass out. They don't breathe, so they don't have that problem. And if their muscles give out, they don't care because they don't feel pain. So anyway, that's just my 2 cents on the different types of zombies and the different levels of danger of them and everything. So I've talked to you guys about weapons, I've talked to you about shelters, I've talked to you about what you wear, I've talked to you about the different types of zombies. And you know what? I think the next video I'm going to do are the other threats that come from the zombie apocalypse that, believe it or not, are actually going to be more dangerous than the zombies themselves. So anyway, alright guys, well, I'm probably not going to get to that video for a couple of days to at least a week or two, but hope you guys enjoyed this video, guys. Thank you for watching. Please comment, rate, subscribe. I love reading comments. I like responding to them. I check my YouTube account at least once every other day, and I do check for new comments, so anytime I get a new comment, I will look at it. But if you're a flamer, please just move on. And I mean that in the sense that if you're there just to talk trash about my video, if you're a homosexual who wants to make a comment or ask a question, I don't care. I will be more than happy to respond to all comments as long as they're not just complete and total ridiculous, stupid comments that are just talking trash about my videos or whatever the case may be. Or even, guys, if you're having an argument with somebody else in my comments, which at the moment, because of the low level of views I have in comments, I don't foresee that being a problem anytime soon. But if you guys start getting in an argument, I'm just gonna block you both. And I know that people have fun, you know, reading those comments and stuff. But you guys wanna argue and do stuff like that. It's called instant messaging. You know, and so you guys can get on Yahoo or AOL or anything like that if anybody even uses those anymore. And you guys can you know, bitch you know, all day long. So all right, guys. Well, anybody else? Like I said, please comment, rate, subscribe. I absolutely appreciate you guys checking out my videos. And the more, whenever I see that I'm getting video views, that's what motivates me to get more videos up. So I will definitely be getting some more up for about the different threats, and I've got a couple other categories that I have written down I need to look over that I'll look over so that I can talk to you guys about it. So anyway, all right, guys. Well, I appreciate it, and y'all have a good one. See ya.